On this episode of the Best of Bias podcast, your boy is back in the building, back in California from a weekend of fantastic events for my birthday. Thank you guys all for the birthday wishes. We had to celebrate out there in Vegas. I told you guys I was going last week when I released the pod on my birthday. I'll tell you guys all about that. Playoff update, some pop culture. Trump was inaugurated, so I'll talk a little bit about that. Yes, we're going to get a little political on this one, but not much. We're just going to talk a little bit. But yeah, let's get right into it. No long talking. It's the Best of Bias podcast, episode 232. Let's get into what we do. It's the Best of Bias podcast. Let's start the shit. Yeah.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah. It's the best of bias.
What's up? What's up with y'all? What's going on? It's your boy Lydell Dinero, and it's time for another episode of the Best of Bias podcast, your favorite podcast. Your go-to podcast when you want to hear about what's going on in the pop culture, sports, anything you want to hear, pop culture, sports sphere. You know what I'm saying? Bring that bias to the table. We talk about it. Welcome all new listeners. Welcome back, family members. It hasn't been long because, we on track. We still on it, I'm saying? Still season 3, episode 232. I'm a little older. You know what I'm saying? I didn't tell you guys how old I was turning last week, but I turned the big 3-4, the big Shaq year. You know what I'm saying? And I'm super grateful for being here. You know what I mean? 34th year of life. I've enjoyed every single one. There's been ups and downs, and I'm grateful for every single one. And I'm grateful for every single one of you guys for being here today. I hope everybody's mental health as well is doing good. Hope everybody's feeling good. Hope everybody is relieved. It's the end of the week. Whenever you listen to this podcast, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, whenever you're listening to it, I hope you are, just relieved and listen in a good place. You know what I'm saying? Listening somewhere you can kick your feet up, have a drink, maybe listen to the pod with some family, friends. Just take a load off and leave the heaviness of the real world somewhere else. Let's just chop it up a little bit. I know there's been a lot on your mind. There's been a lot going on out there. Some not so much of a big deal, some a really big deal. To whatever bias you have, everybody has different feelings about different kinds of things, but we'll talk about a little bit of it here. Hopefully we'll touch on it for you so you can, get it off your chest, so to speak, and you can just, talk about it with us or, with the family. Like I like to call you guys my family here, the Best of Bias members. You feel me? So thank you guys for being here first and foremost. Again, last weekend was my birthday. I had such a great time spending it with V-Runs and family out there in Vegas. Really good time, man. If you guys go to Vegas, I know everybody thinks it's party, party, party. You know what I'm saying? Spend all your money on hotels and clubs and shit. But there's another side of Vegas. I mean, it's there. You see it. It's still close to the strip and kind of like in the same area. So if you look, you'll find it. But sometimes there's other things to do in Vegas rather than just go. I mean, we're gonna drink regardless, but party and spend money at the mall and all these things, gamble, all these things that people usually go to Vegas for. They're starting to add little by little more stuff for people to casually kind of enjoy themselves when they just don't want to do those kind of mundane things, gamble, spend money, party. You want to do things like adult arcades, miniature golf, eateries that are open 24/7. Those little things, the high roller, the Ferris wheel. There's things out there that I would have never thought I would go on in a billion years that I enjoyed for my birthday, and I enjoyed every second of it. I was packed full of activities that aren't the necessarily go-to things to do in Vegas. So let's start it off with play. If you guys haven't heard of play, aka I hope you're making a collage of these activities right here, because this would be definitely my dual cameras moment right here. But you know what I'm saying? Let's just get it right here. Play out there in Vegas in the Luxor Hotel. That's the pyramid one with the light on it. Yeah, go up in there. Dave and Buster's has nothing on this place. You know what I'm saying? It's a playground for adults to enjoy themselves with competitive games where you can play against each other, play with each other in like different strategy games. If you guys saw my Instagram That's where we were. I was out there, testing my agility in a Ninja Warrior style obstacle course. Had the coin swinging back and forth. I had to get through it, hit the button on the other side without getting taken off the railing and get back. And it was like a competition game. You know what I'm saying? They had drinks there as well, so you can drink. It's adults only, so you don't have to worry about kids running around. It was epic. Memory games, Dance Dance Revolution. They had a game there where they had colors flash on the screen. You had to match the pattern with the colors on the floor. The game's like 8 players, and the person to match the colors the best wins the game. Like, what else did they have? They had what else did we play? There is this game where you get a color. You just stand around this big cactus, and as the cactus lights up, you got to hit your color with the ball. And the person that hit wow, hits the target the most wins the game. It's really competitive, man. It takes Dave and Buster's to another level. Again, there's no kids there. You can be a big kid yourself, and again, it's one of those things that takes you out of lets you be a kid for a second, all the stresses and stuff of being an adult. You're an adult. Everything in Vegas isn't expensive, but you can get an all-day pass here. I play for $55 and just stay there all day. They close at 11 at night, and you just kind of add credits to your card. When you first get in there, they give you a certain amount of credits. There's 30 plus games, art installations. There's places to kick it and hang out for adults to chill. If you don't want to, again, go to clubs or do the brunches and everything, you come hang out here and just get a laugh. Get your kicks out of that. And we also went to this place called Swingers. I don't remember exactly what hotel it was in. It may have been in Mandalay Bay, if I'm not mistaken. But basically, it is a adults only miniature golf place where you can go there and get drinks as well. And they have a whole bunch of holes. I think it's 9 holes on each side, but you can go and play miniature golf while you drink. In Vegas, man, on the strip. It's incredible. It's something I wouldn't think I would be doing in Vegas in a million years, but it's very popular. They have DJs there. Again, it's drinks. You can chill. It was a really good experience. And then again, the high roller. I know you guys see that big ass Ferris wheel that's always in Vegas. I always see it, and I'm like, what's the big deal about it? It goes really slow. It's not a ride. It's just kind of like, okay, you get to see Vegas from the top, and I don't know. I just kind of always thought it was a waste of money, but my mom and the group that I went with decided let's go out here and try this out for the first time, and I really enjoyed it. It's a 45-minute kind of circulation. You get in one of the pods on the Ferris wheel, and it takes you slowly up to the apex of it, and you're like hundreds of feet over Vegas, almost as tall as the Eiffel Tower thing they got out there in Vegas. So you're all the way up there overlooking Vegas, can almost see the Grand Canyon. It's a great view. If you haven't done it, check that out as well. I'm telling you, we did a whole bunch of stuff kind of jam-packed into the holiday weekend for Martin Luther King's birthday holiday weekend. Me and Martin Luther King share a holiday weekend every year. He has a special place in my heart. You know what I'm saying? So I'm happy that we got to do that on Martin Luther King weekend. You know what I'm saying? It was pretty dope. And also, we got to see a magic show. You know how I feel about magic, you know what I'm saying? If you know me, one thing that I gotta go do in Vegas if I have time and I'm not going for a bachelor party or some bullshit like that. Not bullshit, because I love all the weddings, you know what I'm saying? I love love. But if I'm not going to party and do some of that shenanigans and stuff like that, I gotta catch me a magic show. And what better of a magic show to see than Chris motherfucking Angel? You guys know who Chris Angel is, bruh. From high school, this man was flying in the air, walking on water, laying on spiked fences, putting nails and shit through his body. Oh man, since I was a kid, this fool, first of all, still looks the same. It's kind of crazy, but to see his actual show in residency in Vegas, that was amazing as well. Just personally, any kind of like entertainment show, not only am I watching the professional do his thing, but also I kind of like to see the technical side of it. You know what I mean? Because I do this podcast and I kind of know a little bit about technical sides of things, a little bit, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing compared to Chris Angel show for sure, but just seeing how he deals with stuff and seeing Vegas, the top of the entertainment industry, where people go to see shows and stuff like this, to see him go on, to see his professionalism was crazy because he be doing crazy shit. And again, I will never understand how this fool be flying around. I feel like obviously he's not really flying. He's an illusion artist, but yeah, he be doing hella shit to make sure people see there's no wires around him. This fool flew one side of the stage, flew to the other side of the stage, flew up in there, spun in circles, went inside a hamster wheel that closed the minute. He was still flying and spinning in circles just to show there's no wires. and then he floated out, and then they put a sheet over this man's head. He floated in the sky, took the sheet off, and then the lights went to the crowd, and this man was sitting in the goddamn crowd right next to the people 5 seconds after he was flying in the sky. I don't understand what the fuck was going on. But Chris Angel, definitely one of the best shows in Hollywood. If you guys saw my Instagram story again, all the pictures and celebrities, people coming to his shows and checking out his show out there. Where was his show at? It wasn't in the Luxor. Chris Angel was in Planet Hollywood. I think that's where Chris Angel performed. But also it was pretty cool too because in the show he was getting ready to do a stunt, one of his bigger stunts in the show, and he came out from behind the curtain and started talking to the crowd. He was like, "Man, there's stuff going on behind the stage, and one thing I care about the most is the safety of me and my workers here and the people that work closely with me." And if a stunt doesn't seem safe, we're gonna take time to make sure it's safe before we come out here and do it. So I'm gonna ask you guys some questions while you get everything fixed in the back. And it was really professional, man. I really enjoyed how he was able to handle that snafu that was happening in real time and just come out and be honest with the crew, with the crowd, fix it, improv. When he was asking questions to the people, he was making jokes. It kind of turned it into stand up. This fool was out there dancing while he was doing magic, choreographed dance. So it is wild, man. Just again, seeing him from high school, he has to be at least upper 40s, almost 50 now. There's no way he's not. And for him to have his kids come out 5 and 10 years old and them wanting to be magicians, just seeing all that, it was really cool. It was really cool. Gut wrenching moment for me. He did do an act while talking about one of his causes. He really did parts of his shows for. His son, one of his sons had stomach cancer, 10 years old, man. It's really sad. And he's fighting that, and he dedicated a lot of his time and a lot of his money to helping kids with cancer. So he had a montage of kids being going through treatment and just being tough and just being strong ass individuals and just kind of showing that while he was doing magic. I kind of got choked up, you know what I'm saying? And I'm saying, I don't like to compare my situations and health to other people's health, or just say, oh, this is worse than other things. But it choked me up, man. I feel like I have a right to kind of feel some certain way about it. It was really triggering for me and my situation there, man, because that's just no joke, man, especially for kids, yo, that have no say in the matter. Cancer just picked them to attack them. They haven't had a chance to go out there and be healthy and just live a healthy lifestyle. Just hit them right away. And for them to be going through that kind of shit, just knowing in my head what I went through, I would never wish that on anybody first and foremost. And just for a child, that is hella unfair. And for his son to come out there talking about he just did his like first magic show and wants to be an aspiring magician just like his dad, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna get my kids to be on America's Got Talent just for fun, just knowing they ain't got to prove nothing on there because they already got a show in Vegas, and it was incredible. Chris Angel, you did your thing. Vegas, thank you. Lolo Soul Food Fire, go check that out. Really good place. Black Tap in the Venetian always do me justice. After hangovers out in bachelor parties or just going out there to kick it. Chiefs, oh my God. Gambling wise, man, I got my first experience of sports gambling in Vegas. MGM, you know what I'm saying? I was going to try to make the sports book before the first playoff games last week. I'll talk about NFL in 1 second. And I guess I'll talk about that because the Chiefs game is the first game. But I'll put some money down. MGM, they're matching people's bets. If you sign up for the app, they match your bets up to $250. If you lose, they give you your money back. So I was like, fuck it. I gamble anyway. Can't do prize picks out there in Vegas. So I might as well, just throw a little something down. I'm out here in Vegas for my birthday. I got some money to throw at the sports book. I was going to go anyway. So I go out and, download the app, get set up and all that shit and pick a little parlay or whatever. I think I picked... it was the same game parlay for the Texans in the Chiefs game. I took Mixon to get over 55 yards, and I did Chiefs to win by 9, just on the money line. And then I took in the other game, I took I believe Washington to win over the Commanders in the money line. And I don't know if I took another prop. But the odds were pretty good in my favor, and the winnings for that would be $2,100. Yeah. I go out there and one by one, all my props hit. It starts with the early game, of course, because the Chiefs and the Texans play first. And again, I'll get into that in 1 second. I should just get into it now. to be continued with that slip because I'm going to get right into this Texans and Chiefs game. So let's get into the NFL real quick. We had the divisionals last week. This week, we're getting into the conference championships. I'll give my predictions in 1 second. But the games last week, of course, we had the Texans in Arrowhead against the Chiefs. I really have a tough time talking about this game because that parlay that I was just talking about 1 second ago. The games, the Chiefs games of late, especially this whole season, man. The Chiefs haven't really been blowing nobody out. They haven't really been playing like the Chiefs scoring a whole bunch of points. And it's always come down to one or two, three calls that the refs made in the Chiefs' favor. I don't like being one of those guys that says, "Oh, the league is rigged just because my team ain't doing well." That's bullshit. Of course, people say that bullshit just to kind of say, "Oh, my team's out," or just hate on teams that win all the time. I get it. Me personally, I fucks with Patrick Mahomes. I really do. Him being half black, you know what I'm saying, and just being a brother out there doing his thing, winning three Super Bowls already, kind of going out there breaking the mold. The two championships, I get it, but I feel like the league wants them to win the championship so bad that they may have put a little whisper in the referee's ear to kind of like look out for him a little bit. But I mean, they're not even hiding it anymore. It's just really annoying because people suspect it. I mean, people suspected it forever, especially when they were undefeated for a long time. They lost their first game, and everybody, once the undefeated season was out of the question, they kind of laid off a little bit. But then it kind of got more egregious towards the end of the season, and especially in the playoffs. Of course, they had the bye first round, so this divisional was the first game in the playoffs where it really showed this year. But they were favored anyway. The Chiefs were favored at home by a lot. Houston, I guess, with a depleted receiver core, I didn't really think they were gonna do really that well anyways. But the Chiefs or the Houston's defense was doing their part. They're keeping, the Chiefs score down as well as getting the ball back for Houston in order for them to try to make moves and do things. I mean, CJ Stroud was running for his life half the game. He got sacked a whole bunch of times. He's not really one to run outside the pocket and try to get extra yards that way, but he was trying to do his thing. But he just didn't have enough to succeed. Again, with the injuries to the receiving core, Stephon Diggs out early, Tank Dell hurting his knee. So it's really just Nico Collins and Joe Mixon. And the Chiefs having a really good defense were able to shut that down. But when the Houston Texans defense got rolling, you would get a lot of those phantom roughing the passer calls. It seems that the Chiefs are really the referees are really protecting Patrick Mahomes no matter what happens. The hit can look hard, but if you look at the replay, the players either hit each other, didn't really hit him in the head, or him flopping or something caused the referees to throw the flag, which is really interesting that they don't have reviews in the first place. They should be able to review some bullshit 15-yard calls, 15-yard penalties that they call. Yeah, because I know that happened to us against them going into overtime. When we play the Chiefs in regular season, but it's not about us. I'm gonna go back to this Chiefs game. But one was really egregious. Patrick Mahomes was running, scrambling, not even looking to slide. He was running, trying to scramble for a first down, looked to the left and saw two players coming and kind of just ducked down real fast. Those two players were about to hit him as he looked left to turn, and he wasn't even in a slide. They go down, they hit each other in the head, like helmet to helmet, hit each other and land on top of Patrick Mahomes, and they throw a flag on them for roughing the passer. It's just kind of 15-yard penalties, and they're always on third down. It's like in basketball when they call a foul hella late and they just wait to see if the ball goes in the hoop first, and then if it doesn't, that's when they call a foul. That's what they do for Patrick Mahomes. They're like, okay, did he get the first down? Did they get the first down? If not, we're gonna throw the flag, and it's egregious. And to make it even more egregious, man, this really just turned me off to the Chiefs for life. They have to do something really crazy to win me back. I'm not a fan of the team, so I don't give a fuck anyways. Sorry, but this is really getting to me as I'm getting closer and closer to talking about it. So I had, again, the Chiefs to win by 9. To win by 9. They were winning by 11 for like the last 3 minutes of the game. The Houston Texans were getting ready to kick a field goal to make it 8. I was so hot. I was about to lose my bet just because the Chiefs didn't win by 9, because you guys know how betting works. The field goal gets fucking blocked. Leaving the game at an 11-point game. I walk away from the bar at Black Tap with like a minute and 15 seconds left. All the Chiefs have to do is kneel the ball, and the game is fucking over. As I'm walking away from the sports book, my dog, For some reason in the world, the Chiefs get a motherfucking safety. I'm sorry for cussing so much. I'm sorry because if this isn't cheating or speculation of cheating, and if nobody can see this shit or even saying, I haven't heard anything about it. This should be an uproar right now. Anyways, they get a safety, making the spread 9, which fucking pushed my bet. So my winnings that I eventually won from the Washington winning and my other bets of $2,100 decreases down to $847. I am so upset at this point. Listen. The spread was 9.5 for the most of the public. If you got in early, you got it at 8.5, blah, blah, blah. That's cool for you because you still won. That's cool. Maybe that's why there's not so much of an uproar, but it did go up to 9.5. All right. I get it. 9.5. Most people got into 9.5. I got in at 9 because I literally put in my bet 20 minutes before the game started. But just imagine all the people that got 9.5 got in at 9.5 thinking, okay, yeah, the Chiefs are definitely going to win by 10, and they're up by 11 at this time. A safety dog for no reason, and one of the ones where the kicker just runs around in the fucking end zone and just that has to be point shaving. How is that not point shaving? It should have been an 11-point game. The game should have been over. Even if it was a turnover, they're down 11. They're not going to score enough points to beat you. Safety? For what? For what? You're giving them points anyways. It's the fucking craziest thing I've ever seen. Texans lost 14-23. I don't even like the game doesn't even matter because you knew the Chiefs were going to win. CJ Stroud and them never stood a chance. After the game, the referee or the players and the coach were talking about the referees. Fuck the referees. The Chiefs just cheated. They got the tap by Vegas to save the fucking points. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'll get worked up just thinking about it. Thank God for actually winning $847, but to be in Vegas and to actually witness Vegas tap these niggas and be like, hey, let's make it like it can be more apparent than that right there. Thank God for Jaden Daniels beating the Lions in the next game. Jaden Daniels did the same thing they did to us. They were able to every fourth down, pick up every crucial fourth down to keep the ball in their hands, to keep the ball out of Jared Goff's hands, to win the game with time of possession. Smartest thing to do, especially with a team that can pick up third, fourth, and shorts easily. Brian Robinson, kudos to him because a hard ass runner. He's not the best running back in the world, but if you need a quick 3 or 4 yards, he can pick that up for you. Jaden Daniels, that pass to Dyami Brown, right in the fucking breadbasket, that bomb. Jaden Daniels has it, bro. I was kind of hesitant to say just because he did play for ASU, was a little rival. LSU took the Heisman from Bo Nix when he was there at Oregon. But you know what I'm saying? I can't even hate, bro. He's doing his thing. I didn't expect him to win that Lions game. I just took him for the odds and the bet. But oh my gosh, seeing him do what he did, he was, anything the Lions did, how explosive their offense was with Gibbs, Jameson Williams, and all those guys, Amon-Ra St. Brown. They were just able to score back to back to back and make the stops, turn over Jared Goff 3 times. That's going to be Jared Goff's biggest flaw when he's under pressure, just trying to make plays when they're not there, turning over the ball. That's always going to be there for them. I don't think you can coach that out of Jared Goff. You know what I'm saying? I think that's always going to be one of his biggest issues. I think him and Sam Darnold, lightweight Baker Mayfield, you know what I'm saying? That shit is always going to be there. You know what I'm saying? But for Jared Goff, it just doesn't come in ones. You know what I mean? It just whenever he starts throwing interceptions and he turns the ball over, it's going to come in 2s, 3s, or 4s. You know what I'm saying? And that's not good, especially in big moments, especially for a team like Detroit that hasn't won the Super Bowl and that is just kind of try to ride off the momentum that they have now with the players they have before you have to pay all of them, and just the fact that they can't stay healthy in the first place. Their defense has just got ravished by injuries. Offense did too. On and off. Montgomery, I don't know what he's on because he hurt his knee and came back. And just the ups and downs of the season. Jameson Williams getting suspended for gambling. They needed this year to come through because I mean they're still in a championship window. They still have talent there, but this year had to be the year. They lost their coordinators. Ben Johnson dipped out. Aaron Glenn, was it Aaron Glenn? Anthony Glenn, one of those. He left out, dipped out. He's the coach of the Jets now. Ben Johnson's the coach of the Bears now in the same division. So now they have to start over with coordinators. Hopefully everybody gets healthy and them get back to where they were as the one seed this year. They're the one seed and lost to the Commanders, the lowest seed. That is kind of crazy, and that's definitely a step back. Um, but yeah, Rams and Eagles, it was a snowy game. It kind of turned out how we thought it was going to turn out. The Eagles are a little bit more used to the snow. Rams, of course, is not playing out there in the snow, being the West Coast team. Offensively, they didn't have enough to stick with the Eagles. The Eagles just defensively are just good now. Defensive line stacking up. Uh, Jacoby Dean, the corners are playing better now. With the young boys, Cooper DeJean and what's the other one name? Adonai Mitchell. They're out there playing now. They're out there playing. And then with Saquon and Jalen Hurts being able to control the time of possession with running the ball, having Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, though they don't use them as much as they could, just having them as weapons to combat that running game is kind of crazy. So I thought, the Rams defense was playing pretty good, especially doing what they did to the Minnesota Vikings. But it was a lot to ask for them to do it 2 weeks in a row, short week in the snow. Eagles held it down and then just kind of through the tumultuous season, kind of getting to where they need to go on the NFC Championship, trying to get back to the Super Bowl, hopefully to play either the Bills or the Chiefs, avenging their loss against the Chiefs in the Super Bowl when they almost won, or were pretty close to winning before Jalen Hurts started fumbling and shit. Um, it's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, we'll talk about that when we get there. But 22-28, the Rams did lose to the Eagles in Philadelphia. So we'll see how that turns out. And then the Ravens did lose to the Bills, man. This was sad because all the pressure being put on Lamar Jackson after winning those MVPs, everybody thought that with their success this year, with them getting Derrick Henry and all the shit that they were doing this season, with their success this season, that they would be able to get to the Super Bowl and actually at least get to the AFC Championship and be that one team that took Lamar Jackson, or excuse me, Patrick Mahomes off his throne. But unfortunately, the Ravens and the Bills didn't get the one seed, and they would have to go through each other to get to the Chiefs, which was beneficial to the Chiefs this season. That's probably how the NFL and the referees wanted it, anyways. But the Bills were able to come out dominant due to a couple of turnovers, one by Andrews, one by Lamar Jackson. And Lamar Jackson was able to bring them back towards the end of the game. But again, Mark Andrews wasn't able to catch the tying 2-point conversion to send the game into overtime, and the Bills do advance. That just opens the door for more scrutiny for Lamar Jackson. But Lamar Jackson's pretty young still, man. I think Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are 28 and 29. So it's a lot more pressure for them to win in their prime right now, before they get to the downside of their career, as far as Lamar Jackson, pending any injury, knock on wood. He's only like 24, 25 years old, so he still has a couple of years in his prime, already won the MVPs. He just needs to get over the hump while he still has a good team that he has, while John Harbaugh is still able to coach him. Has to figure out a way to get over that hump. Because this year, again, just like the Lions, this is one of their years that they should have had. Stacked team. They could use for a couple of more receivers to open it up for, because Zay Flowers was out, I think, in the playoffs, which was a really big detriment to them. I don't really know what the injury was, but having him not playing the game probably was a really big setback for them. But ultimately, they could have tied the game. Mark Andrews is having a hard time now. People are giving him death threats, and people in Baltimore are hating him right now. But yeah, it's always next year. And the Bills, man, the Bills deserve it, man. I think that Josh Allen is, either them or the Ravens are the best bet to beat the Chiefs and take that AFC crown from them and represent the AFC in the Super Bowl. So we'll see if Josh Allen and company has it. Young receivers, the first year without Stephon Diggs, the defense getting their pieces back. So we'll see how they play. Hopefully they do have enough in the tank to beat the Chiefs, because me and the rest of America that's not a Chiefs fan do want to see somebody else represent the AFC against somebody different to represent the NFC. Let's see a little what's the word? A little parity. We don't want the same niggas in the same nah. Three-peats are cool, but only when the right team does it. Let's get a team that everybody likes winning the three-peat. Not the team that got Taylor Swift as the biggest fan. No hate to all the Swifties out there, but it's just so much. Like, so much favoritism toward the team with certain factors that just makes it seem a little cheesy and a little unfair. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to see Taylor Swift in the Super Bowl. Everybody wants to see Patrick Mahomes and them be a three-peat. All the referees, the NFL, what kind of story it's going to be? Like somebody else can win. It's cool. It's cool. Somebody Bills haven't won a Super Bowl. Not let them win, but it's okay if they win. It's a good story. You know what I'm saying? Philadelphia only won one Super Bowl. They're not one of the teams that won 4, 5, 6 Super Bowls. It's new blood in here. Let's just try it out. You feel me? And I'm all for it. That brings us to the previews for the championship game in the AFC Championship. We have Chiefs versus the Bills. The Chiefs are, of course, at home, being the higher seed. Again, I'm hoping for the Bills to win, but there's gonna be a lot of factors against them: referees, nerves, pressure. You know what I'm saying? It's another game for the Chiefs. You know what I'm saying? They call it the Arrowhead Invitational for a reason. They think no matter what happens, Patrick Mahomes is always going to have the upper hand type shit. So prove them wrong. Josh Allen, you know what I'm saying? Haley Steinfeld, young Hawkeye, Kate Bishop, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Let's get it. Have them put Kate Bishop on screen as much as they do Taylor Swift, you know what I'm saying? Let's get it. Let them know that Buffalo can make as much noise as Kansas City. You know what I'm saying? Why not y'all? No Super Bowl before. Why not now? Josh Allen still waiting for that MVP. He can get that Super Bowl MVP. It's written in the stars. Just make it happen. Let's make it happen. Three beats aren't supposed to happen, so it shouldn't be a far gone conclusion that the Chiefs are going to win. Come on now, let's do something, Bills. And then on the NFC side, we have the Eagles versus Washington. Though I would love to see Washington win and Jaden do his thing in his rookie year, I don't think it's actually going to happen. I think Philadelphia has the more complete team, and I also think Philadelphia will be the team that can compete the best against whatever team wins in the AFC. I wouldn't want Washington to go in there against the Bills. I think they'll get washed. I would definitely wouldn't want Washington to go in there against the Chiefs because that's just the kind of spells automatic win if I'm going to say it because the Buccaneers have to bring us back in it again. If Baker Mayfield didn't fumble, I think the Washington Commanders wouldn't even be in the position they are right now. I'm not saying we would have been beat the Lions, so the Lions could have possibly won too. So it coulda, woulda, shoulda type shit. But I think the Eagles will win. All the talk about Jalen Hurts not being ready, the meniscus or the MCL and all that shit. I think he's gonna be ready. I think him and Saquon are gonna do some shit. I think Devontae and AJ Brown are gonna come up big. You know what I mean? I personally would love to see a Bills Eagles Super Bowl. I would love to see that, and I wouldn't care who wins, honestly. Though the Eagles kind of talk a lot of shit and they've won a Super Bowl already, I may be going for the Bills. As long as it's not the Chiefs in a three-peat, I'll be excited for the Super Bowl halftime show. I just want to see a good game, you feel me? So, yeah, again, this one makes it easy for my predictions. I got the Bills winning, and I got the Eagles winning to meet in the Super Bowl in New Orleans. You feel me? Moving on, basketball. Oh, actually, no. Let me talk a little bit something about my fucking. Sorry, I said I'm gonna stop cussing. Don't demonetize me, not like I make money off this shit yet, anyways. But Liam Cohen, can I talk to you real quick? Ex-offensive coordinator of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, man who said you were gonna sign back and take us to the promised land, being the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league. Firstly, let me start by saying thank you for unlocking Baker Mayfield. Thank you for putting Bucky Irving on the map. Thank you for unlocking Cade Otton and all the other tight ends and the people we have, helping Mike Evans get to that 11K. I appreciate all that shit. I appreciate it all. I don't appreciate you running that playoff for Mike or Chris Godwin to get his ankle hurt. No game that we already lost against the Ravens. We won't talk about that. But what I definitely don't respect is you backing out of a deal, a verbal agreement that you have with us. Okay, the media is going to be like, oh, it's business. It's business. If there's an opportunity as a head coach, of course you take that over an offensive coordinator. You've been in the business for 15 years and never been an offensive or NFL head coach. Like, bro, I don't care how much money you're offered. If you shake somebody's hand, verbal agreement with somebody and tell somebody you love them, you love working with them, you're going to be back, take it to the next level, you have a seat at the table. As soon as Todd Bowles is done, you're taking over Tampa Bay. And then you ghost Tampa Bay when it's time to sign the contract. You take a second interview with a rival team in the state and then secretly take the job behind our team's back and don't even respond and tell us anything about it till right before you sign. That is dirty work. And of course, I was hyped. You know what I'm saying? I was thinking at first, I was like, okay, Liam Cohen, was he really that good? Is he really worth, shaking shit up for as a head coach? Would he be good if we fired Todd Bowles? I'm not gonna lie, I was a big proponent of making him our head coach and just going in the way of offensive coaches in the league, taking that offense to a higher level. I was all about it. But after this, bruh, I can't even imagine what's gonna happen if things start to go wrong in Jacksonville. Cause this shit is snaky, dog. He gonna try to have the excuse and say his kid was in the hospital, he didn't have his phone on, so he couldn't respond. Hmm. So you're telling me that you were afraid to tell the team that your kid was in the hospital? You can talk about the negotiations later. Like your phone don't work, text message, you can shoot them a message saying that you're dealing with something. You can call and second resign at a different time. Mm, Oh, but my kid is sick, has an autoimmune disease, and I was really dealing with that. It wasn't a lie. We weren't just saying we were there so we wouldn't answer your call. We weren't ghosting you. Oh, okay. That's what's up. But then you going to sign that contract in Jacksonville later without telling us. Was that because your kid was sick too? Where was Khan, whatever the owner was named at Jacksonville, was he being ghosted after offering you a whole bunch of probably millions and millions more dollars than the Buccaneers off you? Bet your phone wasn't off when he was trying to call you and talk to you about that. Oh, but it's messed up for us to speculate that he's lying about that. Come on, dog. This is I've never heard a story like this before. And for the fact that people just kind of brush it under the rug just because it's the little old Buccaneers, and of course he's making the right choice by going to coach Trevor Lawrence. Like who wouldn't do that, bro? Every coach that stepped foot on that field with Trevor Lawrence, they fucking failed. Urban Meyer, okay, he's crazy off the field, wasn't putting much attention to the team. Okay, Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl in Philadelphia. Okay, he wasn't good enough either. What about this next guy? What happens when Liam Cohen isn't able to win the division out there? Oh yeah, he did good with the players that we had because we got motherfucking players. They have Trevor Lawrence. Who else do they have there? Brian Thomas. Oh yeah, let me. Brian Thomas is raw. Brian Thomas is raw. But come on now. He ain't got Bucky. He ain't got Mike Thomas or Mike Evans. He ain't got Jalen McMillan. Jalen McMillan. If you put him up against Brian Thomas, it might be a competition. You ain't putting Mike Thomas or Brian Thomas against Mike Evans. Chris Godwin's he's better than him. Like I don't know. It's just super dirty, bro. And all you talking heads can be like, "Oh, it's business if you want to." If your favorite team, if somebody did to your team, you would be shitting bricks right now, talking all kind of shit. Like if that happened to the Cowboys, it would be the biggest story in the world right now. If that happened to the 49ers, it'd be the biggest story in the world right now. But again, since it's the Buccaneers, nobody gives a fuck about it. Anyways, Liam Cohen, go enjoy fucking the poverty franchise over there. Don't come back. We'll find somebody to replace you. We got weapons. People are gonna be lining up to sign up for the team. Yeah, that's trash, dog. That is trash, dog. Ugly ass nigga. Sorry. Pause. Ain't supposed to be judging men, but that's been on my mind even when he was on our team, looking like a Cabbage Patch Kid, ass grown ass little kid ass facing ass in the facing ass boy. You know what I'm saying? Get your ass out of here. I can't wait to play y'all in the preseason. We always play Jacksonville in the preseason. You know what I'm saying? Oof, 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 oof. Anyways, let me move on before I get upset. That's the second thing that made me OD upset out here. I don't need to be doing that. Another thing that's making me upset, God damn it. Stop comparing Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to MVP Nikola Jokic, three-time MVP. Let me talk to him nice. You feel me? I get it. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is good. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is good. He dresses nice too. That's what's up. You dropped 54 points with 17 free throws. Okay. Has Jokic ever had 17 free throws in a game? I don't know. Probably not. Is the league pushing hard for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to win the MVP? Probably. Are they tired of Jokic winning the MVP? Probably. But can you deny the shit that you see when he plays, dog? Last night against the Kings, 35, 22, and 17. Casual. Triple double in 3 quarters. Triple double in the last 5 games. Hmm. I know you guys are tired of it. I know you guys don't believe it. He's not athletic. He can't dunk in 360 windmill. Did you see when he threw the ball 60 feet, 3/4 court, in the ball switched? Did y'all see that? Effortless. Anyways, did you know he's leading the league or in top four in about four categories in the NBA? 3-point percentage, points, rebounds, and assists. Hmm. You know he's averaging like 2 steals and a block a game. People talking about he can't play defense. Is it weird that he's getting better as he gets older? 29 now, about to be 30 years old, and he just gets better every year. His base MVP year is like 2 times worse than this year. And to not give him MVP just because Shai Gilgeous-Alexander scores 45 points and he can score 35 points a game. What else can he do? His team is stacked. They're the number one seed. Is he really the most valuable? If he sat out in the games that he played with that team he had and Chet was back, would he be the most valuable? What's the on and off numbers for his team? You know what I mean? Does he make players that would be nobody on other teams better? I don't know. All the categories of MVP, I feel like the MVP it kind of dispels Jokic. If you want to give him leading or a point, what do they give the scoring title? If you want to give him the scoring title, I get it. He deserves that. MVP, it's crazy. I don't think Shai could sniff 22 rebounds, let alone 17 assists. And Jokic does that regularly. He's done that with 40-point games. He's had a 56-point game. But I don't even think any media outlet even covered it. I watched everyone this today from yesterday. I don't think anybody mentioned the triple double. I don't even think anybody mentioned the full court shot. If LeBron James was to make it from half court, it'd be all over every outlet. But you know, it's the Nuggets, Denver Nuggets. Nobody cares about them, right? It just has the best player in the world. But LeBron James is 40, putting up a triple double against the San Antonio Spurs. We call that a Tuesday night. Anyways, nobody cares, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I just have to come here and talk to you guys about it. Very, very frustrating, man, and I'm letting it off my chest. I guess we just gotta hoist another motherfucking trophy and another banner for people to respect our names. And thank you for Jamal Murray coming back, getting back to his level. Thank you, Russ Westbrook. Thank you guys, Clippers, every other team that had Russell Westbrook, for letting him get to the point he is right now with us. He brings another tenacity to the team, brings a dog out in the team that we didn't have before. Peyton Watson, Julian Strawther, Christian Brown, the Booth Boys, as we like to call them, growing and getting better every day. AG getting healthy, MPJ, just them being themselves. Just be your regular selves. Score at least 15 points. We don't need everybody to score 20. Everybody score about 15 to 16. Let Jokic do his thing. We can win a championship. But I'm gonna let that simmer because it's football championship and playoff time. We haven't even hit All-Star break yet. Jokic is leading All-Star votes too, by the way, for all those people. I'm ready to accept the apology if now that we're on this topic because I know all you haters talking so much shit to me when Jokic was coming up and everybody didn't believe, but now they see. It's okay. I'm not gonna blame you, dog. I'm not gonna blame you. But I hope Ariel, you clip this up and just put so we can have a promo to let everybody know. Eat your words. Eat your words. I told you when the Buccaneers won the Super Bowl. I told you when the Nuggets won the championship, man. We here. We've been hated. We've been talked about for so long. It's tough when the tables turn, right? It's tough. It's tough. It's okay though. Laugh. You can still laugh all you want to, but we here. But anyways, let's move on. Unrivaled started last weekend during my birthday. Shout out to Unrivaled. I was really excited for the start of this season. I keep forgetting who else um funded and started the league. I think it's Nefessa Collier and Brianna Stewart were the two that really put it together. And then everybody kind of got behind it. And then, if you guys don't know, it's a 3-on-3 league, teams of like I think 5 or 6, multiple women from all over the WNBA just kind of created 6 franchises. And they play 3-on-3, and it's a round robin tournament style league. Um, 3 quarters, and I think the fourth quarter. I really don't understand yet how they get to the set points that they make it. Um, yeah, I don't really understand how the fourth quarter goes, but it's interesting. I posted all the rules and stuff that were changed and a little bit different than the WNBA. I posted all that on my story as it got closer, and it's also on their Instagram as well if you guys want to get familiar. But it's dope. Me personally, I follow really closely the Phantom team led by Sabrina Ionescu and Satu Sabali. Them two are particularly fond to me. I'm fond of them, excuse me, because they're both, of course, former Ducks, Oregon Ducks, and they played together. I'm hoping they get together and play together on the Liberty too, with Breonna Stewart, with Vandersloot, who they played today. Just the squad and get New York a couple of championships, and they can just come over to the Valkyrie after if they want to. You know what I'm saying? That would be the best thing that happens. But check it out. It's on TNT and Max if you guys have it. Games were today. Satu put up a 28-point game and led to the Phantoms to their first win. Sabrina, it wasn't playing today. I think she had an injury to her thumb, but Brittany Griner with the step back game winner, doing shit out there. Natasha Cloud, Samuelson out there balling, man. I can get behind the squad. I gotta get my jerseys out there, man. But they beat Breonna Stewart. Funny because Breonna Stewart's team is 0-3, being the founder of the league. That's kind of fucked up. But they do have a squad there. But they do have a couple of injuries. I think it was Diogene. Diogene Carrington wasn't there. Dejanay Carrington. That's her name, right? Wasn't playing for the who was it? What's their name? It wasn't the Laces. Who did they play? The Mist. It was the Mist. They weren't playing, but Rickea Jackson was getting off, man. I love her game. LA, man, y'all got a little squad out there. You can get a good draft pick this year if y'all can get Kiki. I think y'all gonna have a little something because Rickea was out there balling and she got D and she can hoop. You know what I'm saying? Depending on who you get in this draft, it's gonna be a good season for y'all. Cameron can get healthy. But yeah, the league is really cool, man. First weekend, about 346,000 viewers. I think it was more than any women's game on TNT or Max. I don't know. I think there hasn't been really many games on there, so it's kind of like a low standard. But I'm sure it's going to get better and better as the league continues. It is going on this week as well. Second set of games, but again, I think everybody plays each other, and then based on how many teams beat and the point system like that, it depends on who plays in the playoffs. But check it out. Your favorite WNBA stars are there right after it probably rolls into the WNBA season. This is paying higher than them, higher than them, I think higher than the salaries, in the WNBA and them playing overseas. So this league is game changing for the women of the WNBA, and hopefully they'll get paid more in the WNBA, so they won't necessarily have to play in that league. The more paid and veteran ones can stay in the WNBA, and the ones that maybe aren't making as much money can play in Unrivaled as like a type of G League type of thing. But we'll see what happens. Again, check it out. It is on Max and what is it? Max and TNT. Pop culture, since we're talking about all these suits and stuff, we've been talking about all the suits that Drake was making towards UMG and all kinds of people up there in the higher ups in the business world to try to get his fair share from streaming or I guess defamation lawsuits against people or in UMG and Sony backing, not like us, blah, blah, blah. But this topic is not necessarily about that. You guys heard all about that and all that stuff that's going on. But Chris Brown has came up with a $500 million lawsuit, defamation lawsuit himself. I'm not saying it directly stemmed from Drake going after the big business and trying to have his hand in suing and getting some money off of him. But I mean, I feel like Chris Brown has a big case here. You know what I mean? Though people have mixed opinions about Chris Brown in his past, of course, we all know what happened with him and Rihanna. The world does, and I think that's stuck with him for his whole career. Not saying it shouldn't, but I'm just saying as you grow, I think he was like 17, 18 years old. I think he's in his 30s now. I think people do have deserve a second chance, especially if you see the growth of a person. Maybe you do see him getting altercations with other artists and stuff like that. But if it was nothing to the effect of putting your hands on women or just getting in fights with women and doing the shit that happened between him and Rihanna again, I do feel like he deserves that second chance at fame, second chance to live up to what a lot of people think he is. Me personally, I think he is one of the biggest pop stars, this artist in the world, and has always been. It's just ever since that situation, it was just tough for him to get a fair share. Talent or award shows don't want him there to perform. He's been blackballed from them. I think he is friends with Rihanna now, or just on good terms with her. But yet, I think a lot of the businesses that know what he did from his past still want to distance themselves and don't want to give him a fair shot. And that's kind of where this defamation lawsuit comes from. Warner Brothers, and I don't know exactly who else he's suing, but Warner Brothers was the biggest name on the suit. He's suing them for a documentary that came out against him, just painting him as a violent rapist, abuser. Excuse me, Ariel, beep out the R word. Grapist, we'll say grapist. Um, and all that kind of stuff. Though some stuff again did happen with him and Rihanna, and those stories did come out throughout the years, also trying to paint him in a negative light. A lot of these were allegations that never came out to be true. But of course, the way that these documentaries kind of go about doing things, they go out and put the story out, put the documentary out as the story is actually coming out and unfolding, and not really vetting a lot of the shit that they do personally. I think they do a lot of cut scenes and a lot of editing for shock value. It's all about the snippet. It's all about the promo, because if you have something that the person did that people are not going to believe the person did, just a snippet and taking it out of context a little bit, that's what can hook the person, the viewer, to go and watch the whole thing and consume the thing and then just kind of mold an opinion about somebody that's not necessarily true. Good documentarians are able to do that. And I feel like he is thinking that, okay, the shit that you're doing out here and the allegations that you're putting in my name, though a lot of them were proved to be untrue, you just saying them and painting them the way you are is causing a lot of people to actually think I'm this way, causing me to lose a lot of money, and just for my character to be defamed. And obviously he feels like it's been a while now that this has been happening. So he feels like $500 million is the amount that he feels that he needs to recoup in this case. And I don't all the way disagree, man. Again, it's been a long time since the Rihanna thing happened. And again, nobody said you should throw it under the rug. Nobody should put hands on anybody personally, especially no hands on women. That's definitely a no-no. But again, it's almost what I would say like 20, 18, 17 years ago. And just because that did happen factually doesn't, and also all the details of what happened, I don't think really did come out. But also just for you just to tag on and just add on to things that did happen in his personal life, and then just wow, attribute that to him being a violent person and just him not being able to control himself, just look seeming like this demonic person that is just out here just causing all kind of havoc, not only messes up everything he has going now, it messes up every future venture he may have, because one, you probably did a good job making the documentary, and two, you're spreading a lot of falsehoods that you probably know they're not true, but the masses don't. So I think he has a case, and I think this one kind of has, well, I feel like this one has a case and may do better than the Drake one, but at the same time, I feel like Drake does necessarily has a case too. Not saying it's definitely the biggest case or he should go through with it at all, just for the face value. Both cases do have, validity. These companies did something wrong to these artists, and for once, I feel like the artist is trying to take it to big business. They feel like they're big enough artists to be able to fight the fight and come out on top. But I hope they both get what they want out of it. You know what I'm saying? More so Chris Brown than Drake, because I hope Drake is not trying to sue streamers and Kendrick Lamar directly. If it's just Sony UMG, I get it. But it's sounding more and more that you are suing UMG and Sony, but it's also you want the people that directly you know, push the song or had anything to do with promoting the song to get in trouble too. So I don't know. I don't want to say nobody cares about that, but that is old news that's still developing. But this Chris Brown one is more so a new case that he brought to the forefront, and social media and stuff are just kind of grabbing a hold of it. So as that develops and anything starts moving on that, we'll get you more in more up to date. But now it's just something that was out there. I wanted to make sure you guys knew. 500 million is a lot of cash. You know what I'm saying? If you got it, bro, if you got enough money to fight them, hey, go ahead and do that. And then lastly, in pop culture, of course, I have to talk about the inauguration on Martin Luther King Day, out of all days. It's kind of crazy that it fell on that day. But of course, you guys know how I feel about it, man. I don't really get political on this pod. But I just want to reach out to everybody because I know, people are kind of still shaking up and not ready for what this next 4 years may have to hold. Me personally, you know, I'm all against the racism. I'm all against people uh taking away women's rights or taking away people's rights at all. And stuff like that. Right is right and wrong is wrong. All that kind of shit. But me personally, I am an American and I'm just hoping that with the decision that was made, that we can move kind of towards better times and make America what it definitely was before. Well, or something that we were hoping for it to be in the past. I know it's gotten a little jaded and kind of mucked up over time. But personally, we've seen the ups and we've seen the downs. We know what America should really look like. I wish we can actually agree on it. I think that's probably never going to happen, but I just kind of wish that we can peacefully come together and bring the country back to where it needs to be. I know there's people on the right. I know there's people on the left. I know there's people in the middle trying to bring everybody to the middle. But me personally, I just want us all to get along. Personally, other countries are looking at us and seeing how we don't have our shit together. It's just doesn't look right. It doesn't make us look that strong. We want to be US, us. You know what I'm saying? It just seems like everybody wants to be an individual and just fight for their own personal gains. I mean, I'm all about fighting for your interest or voting for your interest or shit that you think should be right in the country, fighting for that. It's a democracy. You should be able to vote to have that, have it the way you want, if a majority wants to vote that way. But I don't know. I'm not all about the burn it down type of shit. You know what I'm saying? If my side didn't win, fuck the other side and just burn it all down. That's just not how it goes. It's not how it goes. I mean, if you want to be a side that's all about democracy and say they believe in the electoral system, when you take your losses, you have to, take it just the way you do when you take your wins. Either way, you're going to be in this country and you're going to have to deal with everything that comes for the next 4 years. So you might as well strap in and just look out on the bright side and try to make a positive change, try to help the masses get in a better place, and just all the shit you were fighting for before President Trump went into office, continue to fight for when he's in office. You know what I'm saying? The homeless, still fight for the homeless, you know? The wars, everybody has their different stances on the wars, man, but what about peace? I know people are fighting for different things, man, but I don't know if there's a way to peacefully everybody get what they want. In a perfect world, it would be like that, but I don't know. I don't know. Everything has to do with politics, so I can't say just politics is just fucked up and it kind of makes the world a super opinionated and confrontational place. But sometimes, a lot of times, we do need politics to make the world work. I just wish politics worked for everybody equally. You know what I mean? That way, when we're voting for shit, it actually matters for everybody. It actually encourages people to vote just because they know it actually works and it turns out for everybody. Um, I feel like a lot of people, from my perspective, anyways, it just seems like the top percent are the only people really affected truly by the shit that we vote for sometimes. Though, of course, it's all generally for the better good. It's just that the immediate effect and it all trickles down from the top, no matter which side is on top, you know what I'm saying, or in control. It's just systematically that shit needs to change. You know what I'm saying? Inclusion, togetherness. You know what I'm saying? That's what's been missing. Everybody wants it their way and they think they know better than everybody else. If you do know better than everybody else, why don't you teach? Share that knowledge so everybody can be educated. Don't just try to be the smartest one in the room just so everybody follows you. Just to be the smartest in the room. I get it. I get it. Your name is important, but the country's important too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. How you feel about a person, I get it. How you feel about the president, but once that title gets on, we got to ride. We have to figure out what the hell we gonna do for the next 4 years, whether it be good or bad. There has to be a plan. No plan, no plan, no plan ain't gonna work. No plan ain't gonna work, whether it's positive or good. Somebody you wanted to win is good. You still gotta have a plan. How you gonna make it work with this new person that's president? The person you didn't want to win, won. Now you have to strap up, get ready, save a little more, do things you didn't think you would probably have to do to make it in this world. It's gonna be different to your dislike, but it's gonna be different. You know what I'm saying? I'm just hoping that halfway through we realize that as a country, helping each other, loving each other, agreeing to try to make this country better, natural resources, you know, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? Let's agree. Let's compromise. It's not we have all, them have none. Let's all have some. I know there's always going to be the have and have nots. Can the haves have a little bit more than the have nots? Not hella more than everybody else? I know it's not that simple, but for a person like me that's not into the super minutia of politics, it should be that simple. It shouldn't be as complicated as everybody's making it. You know what I'm saying? I know social media in general, fucks it all up by trying to sway people's opinions and just eliminating all individualism. Groupthink is at an all-time high. You know what I'm saying? Just somebody with a bunch of followers saying something and everybody's gonna believe it. I get that as well. It is a fucked up part of our society, but hopefully, after being so far left and us probably going so far right, it shows us what the middle should really be. And it sucks that it has to go so far right. I mean, allegedly, for us to try to get back to the middle. But I feel like eventually we'll get it together, man. I just feel like people need to realize it first. But the inauguration was Monday. He was uh, Donald Trump was sworn in as the 47th president. We saw a whole bunch of coverage on social media because you had all the social media stars there, all the tech billionaires there. Everybody was there. People making a big deal about Barack Obama at the at oh, that was at the funeral thing, but all of it was kind of mushed up. It's just a whole bunch of political figures and the optics and all that shit, man. It's just a lot. I don't really talk about it. I don't really know much about it, and then I stay away from it because, man, all in all, we're not gonna see the people that are really in power making shit pop. You feel me? No matter who you dress up and put as the president, I know who's really pushing the buttons. We all do. The people with the money can control what happens. And I'm not gonna get my conspiracy theory hat on, but you know how it goes. Anyways, President 47 inaugurated on Martin Luther King Day. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys are really political, you guys sat there and watched it. Yeah, that's what's up. Everybody getting on Snoop Dogg's case because he performed at the pre-party. Snoop Dogg, Nelly, Soldier Boy. That's another thing. Just you can vote for who you want to vote for, man. As long as you're not just out there blatantly being hateful, killing people, just doing stupid shit. You can like who you want to like. I just don't understand why that's such a big deal. Social media has just gone so to a wrong place. People use social media for great things, but at the same time, people use social media for the worst things as well, man. I'm gonna pray for everybody. That ends pop culture and just a little bit of cinema corner. Captain America, what's it called? The Brave and the Bold, is that what it's called? That's coming out February 14th. We're getting really close to that. Everybody's kind of worried just because of all the reshoots they had to do and all the promotion that they're showing us. They're showing us the whole movie, so much Red Hulk, so much action already because it seems like the plot's probably not that strong and the movie's not going to be good. So they have to show us all this action and all this Red Hulk to kind of entice us to watch. I have good faith in it, man. Everybody's kind of hating. I think that's the kind of thing to do right now. Everybody's hating on Marvel. Everybody's hating on the MCU, thinking that they ain't got a chance. I'm one of the people that have been saying that we need to turn up a little bit, kind of get into phase 5, get into phase 6, and kind of get into that Robert Downey Jr. shit, the Fantastic Four shit, kind of get into that kind of stuff. Skip past this Young Justice, this Ironheart, this Echo stuff. I do definitely want to see Born Again. I'm really excited for that. For Daredevil, I think that's gonna be epic as fuck. But yeah, stop hating on Captain America. Anthony Mackie's probably gonna do a great job. I'm liking how I see Captain America with the wings and the shield. I thought they were gonna give up the wings to the other dude that becomes Falcon in the comics. But it looks like he keeps the wings for a while and actually is using them. Red Hulk is cool that when he touches the ground, everything becomes fire. Harrison Ford being the Red Hulk is probably gonna be cool, even though Harrison Ford's getting old as hell. If you guys watch Shrinking, the Shrinked or Shrinking, God damn it. Either way, he's old as hell. He's still hella funny in that show, but he's getting up there. But I don't know if they're gonna replace him as Red Hulk. because he's probably not gonna be able to be in for that long. And he's gonna be in the Thunderbolts as well. But I do enjoy what I'm seeing. I know we're gonna have fuck what I forgot his name. Isaiah. Old school, one of the first super soldiers, the black dude, attacked the president in the beginning, to kind of set everything off. But people are saying the main storyline is probably going to involve that fucking immortal that's sticking out of the ground. They're trying to mine it for the materials that are within it. But then after that attack on the president, he becomes the Red Hulk. Red Hulk becomes like this anti-hero that's trying to pretty much probably kill somebody that whoever the main bad guy is going to be in the show. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I know they're probably trying to keep the storyline a little secret because, again, if it's anything like uh Winter Falcon and Winter Soldier, yeah, that storyline was kind of soft. It's in Secret Wars, the spy espionage stuff they've had so far hasn't been the best. They're still kind of hoping for that Winter Soldier, that Captain America Winter Soldier feel. Um, But yeah, I have high hopes for it, man. Again, I like Anthony Mackie a lot. I think they can go if they're not gonna give Captain America that super serum, give him the wings, have him do cool shit with the wings like he did um in the other shit. The wings can do some cool shit. The shield, it slices through a bus in this one. It's some cool shit. So I am not going to, go in there expecting a shit show. I am going to be in San Diego, so I might go see that in San Diego. V-Rons might have to pull up with me. We're gonna see. Sopranos, man. Okay, okay, okay. I told you guys I'm watching Sopranos for the first time. I am doing this thing where I am going back and binging old shows that I didn't watch that are really highly critically acclaimed. I did it with Better Call Saul. I did it with Breaking Bad. I did it with The Wire. So I'm going through a lot of shows that I haven't watched that everybody's talking about, and I'm giving them a go. So Sopranos, I started. I think I talked to you guys about it last week. 6 seasons. I'm at episode or season 6 now. Crazy shit is going on, man. I'm thinking I'm learning a lot of stuff about Tony Soprano, man. Just his character in general. I like it a lot, man. His just juxtaposition, I say that word a lot, but just through the seasons is interesting. He's just a fucking asshole, fucks everything that moves, cheats on his wife all the time, but he's also this boss figure that looks out for his guys, that always takes responsibility when they do wrong. When he has to make the tough decision or something happens in their lives, he has to make the tough decision. He goes out and does it himself. His kids' family life. It's crazy. Just him being a crazy ass mobster, but at the same time, just regular things like his family life, just how his mom treats him. It's just interesting. His health, his anxiety attacks, how the show deals with cancer. All the guys as mobsters and they be killing people and they be the toughest guys in the world, but going to the doctor, them hearing they have a tumor or something that might be fighting cancer. It's that one thing that can take him out of it. They be the toughest guys in the world, all the money in the world, but cancer, you can't escape that sickness. And a lot of them are going down that way. And that's what they're all scared of, man. But they're living wild, bro. And it's also funny to me to see how how old the gangsters are in the show. They're all older, out there putting in work, and that's how it was in New Jersey, I guess, in the early 2000s, man. Early 90s, they was getting it in. The kids again, Meadow, and yeah, she's wild. Just him having to kill his family members, fucking him off and Tony shooting him with the shotgun, him almost, him getting shot by Uncle Junior. It's just crazy. Everything is twists and turns everywhere. Just how they have to, just the level of command, like the fucking sister is nuts. How she just be killing her boyfriends, just going crazy on them and just dating all the mobsters. Her and her brother just nuts. And it's crazy how they have another sister that they never show. But yeah, it's a wild show, man. I'm not quite done with it yet. I'm sure I have way more to say, but it is an incredible show, man. It is fucking incredible to have 6 seasons, to be so continuous. I'm sure back in the day, they just pumped these bad boys out. It was prime time viewing television, I'm sure. I can only imagine how it was waiting for one week for them all to come out. You know what I mean? Seeing the characters grow, the kids grow throughout the seasons. Uh, man, Tony, bro, it's just he ain't gotta have sex with everything, dog. You ain't gotta. You don't have to. I promise you that. But again, when the season's over, I'll come back and talk to you guys about that. And then lastly, Severance is back on Apple TV. Apple Plus. I love it. I love Severance. A lot of the shows you hear me talk about Apple TV shows all the time. Severance is one of those shows that is awesome. I'm happy it actually came back, dropped on my birthday as well. It's still one of those mindfuck shows. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like you spend a lot of time figuring out what really is going on. Season one, we kind of do know what's going on. It kind of like unveils itself. Basically, in this show, they go to work at this company, but when they go to work, they go into a state where they don't ever remember what they do after they get off of work. So they check in, walk into work, and they do some weird ass coding that they don't really understand until they're there for a while. And then after they leave, they get in the elevator and they go into the state where they don't remember anything. And then they go out and go home as what they call an outie. And they have nothing and then no recollection of what they do for work or what happens at work. They just know they go. But it's just a way for them to try to live stress free and have a better um, work productivity when they're at work because they don't remember anything about their home lives. And when they're at home, they don't remember anything about their work lives. So they live free there as well. Interesting concept until they figured out that a lot of shit wasn't what it seemed to be in the first season. When they were in, they started to realize the job is hella weird and they would like to know more about what they do when they're off of work. So they ended up what do they end up doing? They end up remembering their job and leaving and going home, remembering what they do at work, causing a bunch of ruckus, letting people know that they're trapped on a floor that's not marked in the company, and they're just basically being tortured and shit like that. They kind of blow up the spot at the end of season one, and then season two, we just have the main guy, Mark S, coming back to the business as an employee, going to work, and it's like there's different employees in the office. It's an office of four of them, and the four of them caused some havoc. Three of them didn't want to come back, so they just disappeared. And then Mark comes back by himself, like, fuck, where's my team? I still kind of remember what I did outside. I'm not supposed to, but this is not the people that I signed up to work with. And, Mr. Milichik, the guy that's involved, the big buff black dude, is like, oh yeah, you gonna do your work. You ain't gonna cause no havoc. What you did just shook up the place, and we're a little bit different now. Basically, after the first episode, or towards the end of the episode, Mark S wants the homies back. If you guys saw the first season, all the characters from the first show weren't there, so he wanted them back in order for him to do his due diligence and do the job again. So he runs down a whole bunch of hallways, breaks into the office, and talks to the supervisors. We don't ever see the supervisors; they're over a microphone. So he just, Milchek talks over it, or the old boss talked over it, and they would respond as the higher ups. And he ran out there and said, "I want my team back, or else I'm not gonna work. Come on, now you gotta have to do what I say," type of shit, because blah, blah, blah. And then the next scene, his team is back, and they don't remember how. So they're in this season. It seems like they're gonna still try to figure out what's going on within the business, why they are severed and not able to or not supposed to know what's going on outside of work, and why are they back all of a sudden after blowing up the spot originally. So we get a flashback on what happens outside of the business of them being fired and unsevered. It's a cool little first and second episode. I'm waiting for the third episode to ramp up a little more because again, it's a mind fuck, and I really want to know what's going on actually in the business, what they're actually doing. We see the girl that comes in and infiltrates the company is really the daughter of the owner of the company. When she's unsevered, she doesn't know that, and when she comes in, she just thinks she's an employee, doesn't know how she got there. So that aspect is kind of crazy, being the second season. So yeah, we're in for a good one. Every Friday it comes out. Took the place of Silo because Silo went ahead and ended out of nowhere. Um, if you guys watched that show, it ended hella good. She finally got back to her silo after struggling the whole season to try to get back to her silo. Shit went down in her silo with the mayor getting killed, the new mayor coming in, and then the new shadow finding out some secrets about the silo and why they're killing people and keeping people underground type shit. Um, yeah, she comes back to her silo and then it's over. I was waiting for her to get back for so long in this season, and once they get back, we're going to have to wait forever for them to continue the season. That's just nuts. Who did the person talk to? What's going to happen? Cliffhanger? Not the biggest fan of that, especially after the first season coming out so long ago and them just dropping season two. But yeah. Apple TV Plus has a bunch of crazy shows that you probably haven't seen, haven't heard of. Go binge them all, catch up, and they're eventually going to drop season 2s based on how many people go back and watch those original seasons. It's kind of how I'm feeling. That's how I'm seeing it. But yeah, and that's about it. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Look at that. I know you guys seen this one already. It's me, Lydell with the pups. We got Curry, Clay over there, your boy with the headphones. Yeah, I'm back on my pop shit, by the way. I got some good shit. I think I might make a purchase here. I'm trying not to spend hella money on Funko Pops like that, but 150 for that Trunks metallic chase. If you know, you know. Should I do a chat? Should I do it for the pod? I don't know. But anyways, you know what I like to do towards the end of the podcast? I like to let them know where to find me at. It's SAC_Lydell on the Instagram, Patrick_Lydell on the Snapchat, TikTok. If you deleted TikTok, you ain't gonna be able to see it. But hey, I'm on TikTok still. The Best of Bias Podcast. I didn't delete the app, so we still good there. People selling their phone with because if you deleted the app, you can't get it back. People are selling their phones with TikTok already attached, just so they can have the app back. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, for the podcast, you already know you can find us on Instagram under Best of Bias Podcast. Of course, on YouTube, it's the Best of Bias Podcast. Thank you again, AKA, for every week lacing these videos, lacing people with these videos. I know they love them. We need to get more B-roll in here. I ain't gonna lie. Once you get more time, we need to get you some more time so we can start doing B-roll again, because that gets the people going. I know that we got flagged a lot of times with you doing that, but hey, we need to get back to it. Guests, I am trying to get Chelsea on for next week. We will talk about some shit, kind of change up the order, especially with football kind of winding up. It'll probably be the Super Bowl time. Get her to make some predictions. Her to talk some shit about Ohio State that I don't want to hear. But we'll have her on next week, have a little bit of guests, shake it up. Maybe we'll have somebody else on with her. It kind of gets chaotic when you have more than one person on. But if you guys want it, I will do it. Again, merch is available. Still hats, dad hats, buckets, and everything. Once I get that direct to garment machine, we're gonna make a lot more shirts. The BOBP shirts are gonna come back with a vengeance. But the hats are still available. We have hard eyes and the glasses. Valentine's Day coming up. Get one for your boy, get one for your girl. You know what I'm saying? Boyfriend, girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Come on now. Holla at me. You know where to find me. But until then, this is episode 232, if I'm not mistaken. Like, let me make sure, because y'all know what I'm saying. I'll be fucking it up sometimes. I do. Oh, let me see. Yes, sir. So it's episode 232. Lydell Dinero. You already know what to do. Like, subscribe, tell your friends. And again, Happy New Year. Let 2025 be your year. And thank you for all the birthday love and wishes. And go check out Vegas, man. Go check out Play and all that shit. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed. But until next time, it's your boy, Lydell Dinero. We out of here where that theme song at. It's right here. Yeah.
It's the best of bias. You need the earful, you should try us. From pop culture to the movies to unite us. It's the best of bias. The best of bias. Yeah, it's the best of bias.